questions for you. We'll start with James Carpia from the Oregonian.
George, so going through the offseason a little bit, the process to get a sixth year and your reaction to it. And Coach Mirabal was saying last night, at various points, maybe before that, maybe even after, you may have had the option. He didn't know, he wasn't speaking for you, but you may have had the option to go elsewhere if you wanted. I mean, you were behind guys and, who knew exactly what we were going to do at different points. Your reaction to getting the sixth year and then the decision to ultimately, spend it here.
Well, I put a lot of trust in Coach Cristobal and Coach Mirabal in the compliance office here with helping me get my 6th year. It was a long process. I was waiting, before COVID, I was waiting to see if they would vote upon it. So it was about like a 3 to 4 month process wait. And when I got the answer, we was doing the workout and I came back to my phone and I see my mom and Bill from compliance, and it was like a group chat with like 10, 15 messages. And I was like, what is this? And I looked and he said like, oh, you've been granted a 6th year. And I was just, blessed beyond words. I would pray about it all the time. I was just giving my faith to God and, really thankful for this opportunity that was given to me.
Next question, Eric Scopel, 247 Sports.
Hey, George. Good to see you again.
How you doing?
Yesterday, Alex Mirabal was really complimentary of your focus and the way you're approaching everything. We just talked to Stephen Jones, and he said he's seen you develop as a leader, as one of the older guys in this group. And kind of, what has shifted for you? Has that been a change, or has that always kind of been the way you've been with this group?
With the group that just left, those guys was a leader by example, a leader vocally. And, I've been here for a while. So, I don't want to say I always been like a leader. I had that, but I always had like a mentality to always wanted to help others and help guide others because, I went through the same process as, anybody else is going through coming into a new program and stuff like that. And, but really it's just, I feel like it was a good, I don't want to say I'm a leader, you know what I'm saying? I would like to help guys out, because I can learn from anybody, and from those guys, like I said, that just left, I learned a lot from every last one of them. Even though I didn't play the same position, I still was learning as we went.
Next up, Matt Preem, 247 Sports.
Hi, George.
How you doing?
Good. How are you? 5 new starters along the offensive line. I'm curious, where are you working at right now, and what did you learn from the first scrimmage? Because I imagine 5 new starters could make things really interesting for that first kind of live scenario for you guys.
I'm working in at both tackles positions. I'm working in at guard also. Like Coach Mirabal said, with this whole COVID deal, you got to treat it like it's the next level. You got to have guys ready to play at either position. So with us in that scrimmage we had, everybody's going to bounce around, so like Coach Mirabal said, we'll be in the left-handed stands, we'll be in the right-handed stands to give us that opportunity. If we need to jump in at certain spots, we'll be ready mentally and physically. So, after that first scrimmage, just learning from communicating and really getting the feel of playing with each other, it was good. I could say that much, that it felt good to actually get out there and just let bullets fly. It wasn't no practice. It was just, go on full collision and just working with the guy next to you and working with basically the whole line as one,
Next question, Ryan Thorburn, the Register Guard.
Hey, George, I remember when you first arrived from the College of San Mateo, I think, there was talk maybe if you were healthy, you could help replace Tyrell Crosby.
Mm-hmm.
And here all these years later now, you might be able to replace Panay or Throckmorton. Just describe your journey and the patience you've had to show and kind of developing, and what does it mean to have this opportunity now?
I feel like a lot of people, I don't want to say, but a lot of kids just go through, if they don't play now, they've got to just jump and leave and go find a place to go play. The journey that I've been on, it has been a long journey, and I've learned to be very patient with the opportunities that's given to you. The journey has been long, and I've been prepared, and I'm getting more prepared every day with this opportunity that I'm getting. I just gotta, keep working and actually I see myself as a new guy that just came in, and I just want to be a sponge and just soak everything up, because you always want to learn something new, even though if you already know it, you want to keep learning and keep going and giving yourself that opportunity to basically like you're a new guy, and that I feel like that's going to help me a lot when it comes to playing, because once we get into a game situation, if I'm one of those 5 guys that's going to play, it's going to slow everything down for me.
Next question comes from AJ McCord.
Hey, thanks for doing this. So you talk about your journey a lot and the patience that you learned along the way. Now that you are one of the guys who is maybe not a leader, because I know you don't like that word, but one of the guys that the younger players are looking to for advice, what aspect of your journey do you think serves you well that you wouldn't have known it would serve you well when it was happening? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I feel like the wait, to be honest with you, the patience, because I mean, a lot of people, it was a lot of talk around me when I first got here about being that guy and coming to replace Tyrell. And, that, I mean, it didn't happen as, everybody thought, but I still stuck to it. And just being able to just still learn learn from the journey and learn from just being able to stick around and learn from everybody here. I mean, it helps me a lot, it helped me continue to just build on being a better teammate, you know what I'm saying? Just be a brother to the guy next to me, and being able to have those young guys or, anybody come to me and ask me a question, and I have the guidance to help them, understand what they need.
Back-to-back AJs, AJ Jacobson from Rivals.
Yeah, how many media scrums have 2 AJs in them is outstanding. George, you've seen a lot of football, a lot of offensive lines. Tell me about what the difference or how good this offensive line could be. Last year's offensive line, it's kind of set a benchmark for good offensive line play. You got a lot of talent on this one. How good can they be?
Oh, I mean, we can be as talented or as great as far as we want to go. We have everything, every aspect to be an amazing offensive line. We have great communication. We have leadership. We have a lot of physicality. We have a lot of athletic ability. It's just, it all comes down with repetition. Coach Mirabal, like he said, I mean, the only thing that we don't have is game experience, but we have everything else that those last 5 guys had, so I mean, we could be as great as we want to be, and I know the standard is very high and the bar is set very high for us, and I know that we're going to go get that.
Next up, Eric Scopel, 247 Sports.
I guess comparing this group to last year's group a little bit more, just the sheer size of the guys that you guys have this year seems bigger than what you had a year ago, and honestly, maybe the biggest we've seen out of an Oregon offensive line ever. You got the size, but the athleticism part, I mean, how's that kind of fit together in terms of just having the size, but also the athleticism? I know that's an important component.
I mean, I feel like just having that athletic ability with all of our sizes is a great aspect to have. I mean, we all are great athletes. I mean, from me all the way down to, Devin Lewis, we're all great athletes. We all have aspects of being great athletes in our own certain way. So with us just being huge humans, just adding the athletic ability is just amazing, I feel like,
Next up, Brandon Gibson from Rivals.
Hey, George. I know it's a little bit thinking forward and everything, but this year technically won't count because of the COVID situation. Is there any chance that you come back for a 7th year here at the University of Oregon?
Right now, I mean, I'm really just focused on every day. I mean, I love this program to death. That's why I came back in the first place. Never once shied away from or thought about leaving. I love it so much. I got so much respect for Coach Cristobal and Coach Mirabal. They have so much respect for me also, so as of right now, my main focus is helping this offensive line in any way that I can for us as we take this journey for this new season.
We'll go to Matt Preem, 247 Sports.
Yeah, George, what can you tell us about this defensive line and what's it like facing them every day in practice?
I mean, they're the best in the country, and I believe that deep down. From Fat Mac to or Jordan to KT to Austin to Mace Funa to the linebackers, Drew Mathis and Isaac and Nick Pickett and Demo coming back and V3. I mean, I could name them all. That's how you know that they're great. You know, some teams will be like, oh, they'll say a number like, oh, who's 14? I can name everybody on that starting defense because I have so much respect for every last one of them. You know, and our linebacker core is very strong with Justin Flo and Noah and just all those guys is working really hard. And I feel like it helps me every day to go against someone as going against KT and going against Mace because they are the best in the conference and the best in the country. So that's just going to help me on my journey as, you know, as I get ready to play and as we get ready for the season.
That's all we have for you, George. Appreciate the time.
Yep. Thank you, guys.